Let's try to recreate that and put our own twist to it, because of course I always try to put my own twist and personality to it, because again, your uniqueness is what makes you stronger than others. So hey y'all, it's Kameron the K coming to you guys with another video in today's entrepreneurship series. I am so excited. I hope you guys are loving the series. Today is part 5 of 7 of the entrepreneurship series. And today's video, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about all things becoming an influencer. A lot of people don't like that word, or there's like this big taboo behind it, but honestly, all of us in some capacity influence people around us, whether that's our friends, our family. Like, girl, I just got this cute blazer, and then they're like, sis, where'd you get it from? I tell them where it's from, they go buy it. That's influencing. I know there's, again, this negative stigma, negative connotation that's behind it, but honestly, it's not a bad thing. Embrace it. Let's change the dynamic and let's change the narrative of what the word influencer means, and let's embrace it. But enough of my little rant. We're going to be talking about 3 main topics in today's video, and the first one is how to become a YouTuber, influencer, content creator. Second, equipment to use, and third, how to actually make money. So I'm going to be going into some great detail. Definitely make sure you check the description box down below so you guys can get all the links and information. And if you guys would like to book a social media consultation with me, I will also leave that link down below, where I go way more in depth, way more specific to what your niche and what you need, and I give you all the tea on the platforms that I'll mention that I use to make money. I'm not going to say them here. You have to book the consultation to know the real tea, but I'm going to spill as much tea as I can. So without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Okay, so topic number 1, how to become a YouTuber, influencer, content creator. Just start. I'm sure you guys have watched several other videos related to this topic if you clicked on this video, and they all say the similar thing, to just start. If you go back to my very first few YouTube videos, I don't think, I have a few archived and a few deleted, but like my very first video is still up. I'll try to insert a clip now. Hey y'all, it's Kameron with a K. I am here to welcome you to my channel. I feel like I'm walking around looking like closure, like, oh, I have a lace closure, look at me, lace closure. Like, that's how I felt. But I guess it's not true. People don't even notice. So I'll be like, girl, thanks. But I wouldn't know. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Thank God for growth. Seriously, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh. Even like some videos from like 2-3 years ago. And I'm not saying I have like top-notch quality or like the best quality out there, but like, sis, I was filming on like an iPhone before we had like iPhone top qualities right now. Like right now, I would recommend you can film on your phone. Like, do it now in 2020, 2019, 2018. But like 2014, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. It was a mess. And I still do this sometimes, like stack books and just know, humble beginnings, okay? I did not pop off with a camera from jump. I did not get my first camera, and I still have the same camera. I have a new lens, but I still have the same body, a Sony a5100. But I'll talk more about equipment in the next segment. But I just wanted to say all this to say, start with what you have. Just start recording. The more you record and the more you talk to a camera and plan out your videos, the better you will become, because the more comfortable you will be on camera. And just like I fumbled, like we all make mistakes. I keep it real over here. I know some people edit out all of their mistakes. I of course edit my videos, of course. But I try to show you guys that I'm just a person. I'm a human behind a computer screen, a phone screen, whatever the case may be. But I make mistakes. I say I stumble over my words. I have to start over and stop and start over and stop all the time. So just start doing it and practicing, and you will get better. And then also, I know you're thinking, well, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what content I want to do. Think about the videos that you already watch. What type of videos that you watch, what type of videos that you enjoy to create, and that comes with time and comes with practice. So for instance, like I started out my channel with just doing like natural hair videos and wig videos, because it was during the natural hair movement and all those things, and I was like, listen, I don't know what to do with this scalp, somebody please help me. Then I got into wigs, and then I just started my affordable wig series videos, and that's really when my channel popped off, so to say. So I believe that was in, again, I have my wind wall, and if you haven't seen my other series, I think it was in part 3 that I mentioned it. Comment below if you know where I mentioned the wind wall. But I just have post-it notes on the wall here that just say milestones during my business, whether that's reaching a certain number of subscribers, quitting my job, things like that. So I have that over here, but I don't think I have Oh yeah, I started my affordable wig series video January 11, 2016. So during that year, 2016, I gained 30,000 subscribers, which is just crazy. But that was really, and I think that was the year I got my first YouTube check. I don't have that on the wall, but I wonder if I can check that. So, but yeah, you don't have to have 30,000 subscribers to make a check. Like, we'll talk about that when we get to how to get money. But I say all that to say, it's gonna take time to figure out what area you kind of want to focus on, and then your channel can grow with you. I pivoted so many times. I feel like I'm just pivot queen at this point. When's the next pivot? But I think that's the importance of being organic and authentic online, that you can pivot and you can change the topic, that people are going to start to, of course, watch you for good content, good information, and things of that nature, but they also are going to end up just watching you and for your personality. So find something you enjoy doing. I enjoy doing affordable wig series video. I still do. I know I don't do as many now because I'm just pivoting my channel in a different direction, but I still will do affordable wig series videos because that to me was like the time where my channel really popped off and where I gained a lot of my subscribers. So I love doing those videos. It was natural, it was easy to edit, it was very quick and things like that, and they got great views. So that's something else. When you do end up pivoting, you may have to have a transition period. So now when I started doing law school related videos, people weren't watching, and they were like, girl, that's cute and all, but what about the wig on your head? Like, and people still, you know, kind of do that, which is fine, and I love that I can kind of reach both audiences, but it's gonna take time when you do end up pivoting. Okay, I feel like I went off on a tangent. But anyway, you really just need to start recording. And I'm not saying you need to upload every single video you practice. There's some videos that y'all have never seen that will never see the light of day because they were trash. I rarely, if ever, re-record, but sometimes I just have to, or sometimes I just see a video after I'm editing, I'm like, this is just trash, it's just not good, it's just whatever I was trying to relay across just didn't come across how I thought when I do the editing process. So it's trial and error. It's not perfect, but that's the fun of it. I really enjoy this. I love video production. I love photography. I love content creating. I love just everything about the social media influencer marketing space. So that definitely helps keep me motivated. And there are some days, listen, y'all, I was like, I do not feel like recording. I don't feel like taking no big pictures. I don't feel like looking cute. Y'all can get these sweatpants and these stained t-shirts today, okay? You know, and there's days like that. And then I will say this one little tidbit regarding vlogs. I know vlogs are a big thing right now, and like, I think it was 2015-ish when they also were kind of a big thing. Like, I remember doing some in college, and like, they were really good, but when it comes to vlogs, it can be hard for vlogs to start off as your first like main niche or type of video, because vlogs people really watch to know the behind the scenes of a person they already watch, if that makes sense. So for instance, I was doing videos about affordable wigs and things like that, and I could bring people kind of to see the behind the scenes of what I would do when I'm wearing the wigs and what I did outside of just creating wig videos, things like that, because people get invested, like I said, not only in your content but also in you. So that's where vlogs come into play. I'm not saying you can't have a channel and your first few videos are vlogs and they not hit, but I think it's more often than not that it's because people are already invested in the creator. But with that being said, I'm not saying you can't have a lifestyle channel. So for instance, lifestyle content could be anywhere between doing like morning routines, night routines, and those are really good keywords to use, and people search those often. So you can start off doing like very popular videos, so those would be like popular topics. Or if you want to do like clean with me's, those are popular topics. Any type of seasonal decor, seasonal transitional clothing videos, those are really good, things like that. So do your research, and I feel like I've said research in every single video. You have to do research. I'm constantly researching and looking up keywords. I use a software called VidIQ and Tubebuddy. So right now I'm doing more VidIQ than Tubebuddy, but I've used them both, and they both are great resources when it comes to figuring out YouTube search engine, because you have to remember Google owns YouTube, and Google is a search engine just like YouTube. So looking up SEO keywords and all those things, like I said, the behind the scenes, like I said in part 4, it takes time, and that's not like the glamorous part of being a YouTuber, content creator, or influencer, but it has to be done. Also making sure you have a schedule, and which I talked about in part 4, so definitely make sure you check that out if you haven't already. So talking specifically about Instagram, it's more of like a photo photography based platform if you ask me. And YouTube is, of course, more video. So I think when you're trying to find, okay, what platform do I start off on? Because I always recommend starting off with one and then bridging to 2. I think juggling 2 is the goal. And then, of course, then adding on more as you become comfortable and as you become consistent. And really quick, while I say the word consistent, that doesn't mean you have to post every single day. Consistent to everybody could look different. Consistent to me is Instagram, I'm posting Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. Of course, there's days that I don't post on those days, but those usually are my guarantee I'm going to post in some capacity. And then on Instagram stories, I'm posting every single day. And then on YouTube, I'm try to post 2 times a week, Sundays and Thursdays. Yes, sometimes those days fluctuate, but those are my goal days. So for me, that's me being consistent. For other people, it may be every day. More power to you. Listen, it's very difficult. It's hard to sustain 2 videos a week, let alone 7. Ma'am, no ma'am. But of course, you know, minimum on YouTube, you should be shooting for 1 time. At least 1 video, at minimum 1 video a week. On Instagram, that varies. Again, get a gauge from your audience. Check your insights to see when is your audience online. This is a pro tip, really quick pro tip. What I do is when I'm going to post on like an off hour that is not I guess recommended to me through my insights, I always go on my story and then go to like the live icon at the bottom left corner to see how many followers are on, because it'll tell you like how many of your followers are like on the app right now. And then depending on what that number looks like, I know, okay, although this may not be a heightened time for me to post because my insights is saying it's better to post like at 3 rather than at 4, but if I see a lot of followers that are on, so if I went live, essentially like they will be notified, I can still post because I know they're on the app. So little pro tip on that. But when you're trying to decide which platforms you want to juggle, figure out where your strong suit is. I love video content. I think that's where I can relate more. I feel like y'all agree. I feel like I just enjoy creating videos. I love the video production process. I love the scripting. I love the recording. I love the editing. Are there days where I'm like, I do not feel like doing them? Yes, there are, but like overall, I really find joy in it and I love it. I really do. So and I also do research on like lenses, cameras, equipment. I don't know all the, you know, logistics behind the tech, but I also am interested in it and it's fun for me. So I think when you find the area that you're comfortable with and that you enjoy, it makes doing it a lot easier and being consistent a lot easier. I also like taking photos. So it's so interesting to me when I see, like, when I hear influencers or creators or YouTubers say like, I just hate taking photos, and I'm like, girl, what? I also like that too. So I think I'm just like a natural creative, if I do say so myself. But you don't have to love both things. Find which one works for you. Maybe it's TikTok, maybe you like the short version, it's Reels, it's IGTV. Find what works best for you and then keep doing it. But also not just something that you like, you want to gauge what your audience like as well. And that can be the difficult thing about being an influencer. Trying to find the balance between things that you love, things that you enjoy, content you want to talk about, then also content that your audience responds well. And that can be difficult because sometimes your audience may respond to something that you're like, I mean, I like that, but like, that's not my thing. Like, I don't want to talk about that for the rest of my life. So that's when, like I was talking about earlier, the pivoting and the transitioning happens where you may lose some of your old audience to gain a new audience in the niche or in the topic and the content that you now want to produce. So it's a balancing act and it takes time and there's ups and downs and ebbs and flows and the algorithm does what it wants. That's why you don't need to focus so much on numbers. Of course, I focus on numbers. You have to look at your analytics. I totally get it and it's hard not to look at the numbers. But the more you enjoy what you're doing, I promise you, you will reap the benefits. Like, it may take time. Like, I am always for the gradual progression of my social media platforms as opposed to an overnight success. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's no shade. Like, come on, everybody wants to go viral, if we're being honest. But the hard part about that is sustaining that viral, like sustaining that high capacity level that you reached overnight. It's very difficult, especially if it's a video that you might have just did like a one-time thing or like a funny thing that like that's not really your kind of foundation-based content. It's hard to then now keep up with that essentially. But again, if you listen, if I go viral, won't he do it? Amen, hallelujah. So I would not be mad. But of course, if that does happen, you want to be strategic and you want to make sure that it's viral for a good person, a good reason, a positive reason, and well within your niche and content that you want to continue to create so that you can keep that audience, as opposed to bringing in a new audience that is looking for a certain type of content and then you don't do that and then they're like, oh no, we out. Like, what is this? I came here for a burger and you're giving us french fries. What is this? It's not the same. I hope that makes sense. I must be hungry. I haven't eaten yet. But essentially, just get out there and start. I promise you that you can do this. If you really want to do it, definitely do it. Of course, watch the other parts of the series so you guys can, of course, make sure you're financially aware and able to do that if you're trying to do this full time. And also that you understand that it's not saturated, so get in the right mindset and all of the things that I talked about in the previous video. So make sure you're ready for this. And I do want to touch on negative comments just for a little brief moments. I don't get a ton of negative comments. One, I'm bippity boppity block queen, so I don't have the time, okay? I'm trying to protect my mental space and my peace of mind and my community's peace. But I also feel like I don't know if it's that I necessarily always say that I've set up my platforms where people just must not want to try me, which thank you. Well, thank you. But I do every once in a while get a few little negative Nancy's, little bots, little fake people trying to throw some shade. They clearly ain't watched the video. But again, block, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Sometimes I leave comments because there's a difference between you're being disrespectful and you're being rude and you're being negative and you're actually giving me criticism, like constructive criticism. I'll leave that. Or maybe you have a difference in opinion. I leave those because everyone can have a different opinion. But when you cross the I'm being rude, disrespectful, and like I'm just talking like outside of my neck, like you're getting blocked. So don't be afraid to do that. And also with YouTube, there are different keywords you can put in so that it automatically tracks specific words and topics into a spam folder, so then it won't even pop up. So definitely look into that if you're worried about that, but don't let that hinder you. Like I promise you, you will be fine. Oh, and I also want to say, write down your video list ideas. I'm in a YouTube masterclass and she recommends that we write down 100 YouTube video ideas. And at first I was like, 100, like, girl, I can. But then honestly, the days go by so fast. Think about it. If you upload 2 to 3 times a week, I mean, like, it's 52 weeks in a year, so you're gonna hit 100 pretty quick. So you just want to make sure that you already have video ideas in the back of your head, so when you hit those ruts where you're like, I don't even know what to create, you can pull out your video idea folder or your Word document or whatever, and you can go in and just create those videos. That can be a lot of people's, I guess, hinder people from starting creating content, or even on days where they've been creating content and they're just like, I don't know what to record. It's because they don't have any ideas, and coming up with ideas and concepts and creative things when you're not in a creative mindset can be very difficult. So when you already have a list, I have a list, and when I see the comments, I always go to the comments to see if there's anything that people recommended or any questions that people have that I can turn into a video. That's another good thing. And also ask yourself, like, okay, if I'm doing a law student video, when I was a law student, what would I have wanted to see? So put yourself in your audience shoes and see, okay, if I'm doing a apartment tour, what kind of questions or what things would I have wanted to see? If I'm doing a work week in the life or a outfits of workwear video, like, what would I want to see? So those are really good. That's a really good way for you to kind of build your creative video list as well as photo list. Go on Instagram and use the save function. If you go on Instagram, there's like a save function, and you can create essentially like folders and collections of a variety of different things. So like I have a content inspiration folder where I save all type of content that I really like on Instagram that I want to recreate, just similar to Pinterest, making boards. I also have Pinterest boards for specific topics. It just really helps when I'm like, okay, I have a photo shoot where I need to take some content for Instagram or whatever the case may be, and I'm like, I don't even know how I want to set it up, but it really helps to have some inspiration and the specific niche and categories that you want to create. Also, I created a mood board. Well, myself and my campaign manager, we created a mood board for my specific brand. So then whenever we're like, oh, we don't know what we want to pitch about, or we don't know kind of where we're going this month or whatever the case may be, we can go back to the mood board and make sure that we're on track and get inspiration from that. So it combines all of the niches that I'm in and all the content that I want to create, and it's basically just everything I desire to be. So we can go in there and say, you know what, you have a blazer that's black, let's do that photo. Okay, we're working with Sam's Beauty. Okay, that's cute for wigs. Okay, we're working with, I'm looking around, see, we're working with Tula. Oh, this is a great photo that somebody else did for Tula. Let's try to recreate that and put our own twist to it, because of course I always try to put my own twist and personality to it, because again, your uniqueness is what makes you stronger than others. So I think that's pretty much it in that. I could go on and on about this topic, but if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, definitely leave them in the comment section below. Okay, so now let's talk about filming and photography equipment. So I keep things pretty basic. I'm looking up. So I use a ring light from Newer. I will leave all the links to all these things down in the description box below. They will be affiliate links, and I'll talk more about affiliate links in the next segment about how we get paid. But essentially, I get a small commission when you click the link. It is no effect for you as the consumer. You click it, it's no upcharge, nothing. I just get a small commission for referring the product to you or influencing you to buy the product. So I use the Newer ring light. This is the 18-inch, I believe. I've used the smaller versions because I think this is my third ring light I've had to buy. Maybe second ring light I've had to buy. They are a little bit more affordable when it comes to ring lights. I'm using the word affordable in quotes because I mean it depends on what's your financial position. I'm just real frugal. I don't like to spend too much. I like to save my coins. But the quality kind of represents the price. And when you compare it to other ring lights, you'll know what I mean. I also recently got a LED light. I, of course, will leave that link below. Make sure you get the batteries. I bought the light and forgot to get the batteries. Don't, sis, do not be like me. But it really does make a difference. I believe in the quality. I've also upgraded my lens. I have a Sigma 16 1.4f something. It's out again. I'll leave it below. I don't feel like looking at it to see the name, but it's a Sigma lens. It's bomb. It's amazing. I really like it. The body camera that I use is the Sony a5100. They have several other updated versions of this body. I recommend getting the updated one just because, well, I like my Sony a5100, don't get me wrong. The only annoying thing is that you can't record for a long duration of time. So I believe it's at 25 minutes, maybe a little less, depending on how you're constantly recording and what you're recording and what your settings on your camera at the time of you recording and taking photos and things of that nature. But it will quote unquote overheat, which is just annoying because you could be in the middle of recording something in mid-sentence and it'll turn off, and then you have to like rewatch the clip to see where you were and things of that nature, and that's happened to me. But I really like the frame of the body. I like how small it is because not only can I use it as a sit-down camera, I use it as my vlog camera. And then I also vlog on my iPhone. I have an iPhone XR. I'm trying to decide, do I want to get the 12 Pro or the 12 Pro Max? Then also part of me is like, girl, you don't need it. So I'm on the fence. That's why I haven't gotten it, but I may partake. I really may partake because I mean the 3 camera, the quality, sis. Then I wouldn't have to worry about getting a new camera. I have been thinking about getting a new camera. I say all that to say, I have been thinking about getting a new camera just to update my equipment because it's been so long, but it's really not necessary. I think the more important things when it comes to equipment as far as your camera is the lens. Get a decent body and just get a camera where you can have the interchangeable lenses. So I have the Sony A series, which is a mirrorless cameras where I can just change the lens out. So if I buy another Sony A series, such as the Sony A6400, which I was looking at, I can still use this lens as well as the kit lens, which is a little bit smaller. And as far as tripods, I have recently bought a very sturdy tripod. Actually, it was referred to me by Octavia B, so shout out to sis. On YouTube, she was saying how she finally invested in a sturdy tripod. I paid for very affordable tripods. They fall apart. But this one, I'm very glad I made that investment. I think it was like $50 or $60, which again, some people are like, that girl, that's not the best, sis. I like to save my coin. So I also have 2 light tripods, one for my ring light, one for my LED light. They came in a 2-for-1 package. So again, I will leave those links. I also have an additional tripod for my phone when I want to take photos on my phone for Instagram, or sometimes I take them on my camera. But it's like a tall tripod as opposed to like a small one. But then let me tell you this. Where is it? This right here, you need this. Like, stop watching the video. Even pause it. I'm going to tell y'all to pause the video and go get this. It's on Amazon. I love it because you can move it up. You can turn it like this. Put it down. Put it up. Girl. And it's super affordable. Very sturdy. I use this for like IG lives, even taking some photos and things like that, but I really highly recommend this. It's very sturdy, very easy to put together. Oop, it's a little dirty, but it's used, okay? It's used. I really like that. Also, if you're going to be recording on your phone, make sure you turn your phone horizontally like this so that you fill up the entire YouTube screen. Otherwise, if you record like this, it's going to have the black lines. I know you guys have seen that. And sometimes, like if I'm inserting a photo, actually no, I usually do an overlay, but you will see the black lines if you record vertically. Vertically is good for IGTV videos or any type of reel or anything in related to Instagram stories and Instagram videos and things like that. That's when you want to do the virtual or the vertical. But YouTube really favors horizontal. Aside from YouTube stories, and then I know they have the YouTube shorts. I haven't partaked in the shorts, so I can't really give you guys like an opinion on that. But back to the equipment. Also, I recommend getting some extra batteries for your camera as well as your lights. There's nothing worse than you're in the middle of recording and your camera dies. And then you have to wait for the battery to charge. It's just annoying and tedious. And with that same token, get memory cards. I have a memory card holder, which I love. I will also leave that down below. So I try to categorize my memory card. That's what I've been doing. It's really helpful. So like right now, I'm using the memory card that I shoot sit-down content with. Then I also have a memory card with my vlog content with. It really just helps keep everything in order. Then I have like 3 other additional memory cards because sometimes they run out and I want to keep the content on the memory card until I fully edit the content, post the video, and save it onto a hard drive. I don't want to delete the content from the memory card until the video is completely all the way up, and I still sometimes leave it on there for like a few months. Just kind of depends. So that's kind of how I save that. And also as far as hard drives, I have two different hard drives that I've been using, one that I like over the other one, but I also pay for extra storage on my iCloud. You know, there's a great debate about that, but that's just how I'm doing it right now in this moment. I may update to a more quote-unquote legitimate high price hard drive eventually, but right now, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? Oh, these two things right here, there are adapters for a memory card for your phone. So then if I take content on my camera on my memory card, I just stick the memory card in there, connect to my phone, and we are on the go. This is for my MacBook. I have the newer MacBook Pro, so I need to have different adapters and things. I also have this adapter here, and it's for USB, HDMI, and things of that nature. So just a few other small little gadgets that I recommend. And different remotes. So like this is a remote for my camera, but for my camera I actually can use my iPhone, so I really like that I can see myself and I take the photos like that and just hide my phone somewhere while I'm taking the photos. Also have a remote for my phone, so then it's easy. I don't have to set the timer and run back. I can just keep pressing the phone, and I also can do it while it's on the timer, so I can press it, got 2 seconds to pose, press it, 10 seconds, whatever the case may be. So definitely recommend doing that, especially if you're a one-woman, one-man show. You want to make sure you have all the gadgets and things that you need, but it is not required. Sometimes I prop my phone up on the windowsill or prop my phone up on some books, click the little timer, and call it a day, and it still comes out good. And one other thing that is kind of like a non-traditional recommendation when it comes to equipment is blue light glasses. I know you guys have probably heard all about blue light glasses and how it helps protect your eyes from different screens, your phone, your laptop, etc. I spend a lot of time looking at a screen on my laptop, editing or responding to emails or whatever the case may be, or on my phone dealing with social media and responding and all that stuff. So the blue light glasses really do make a difference. My eyes feel a lot less heavy and like weighed down at the end of the day. I know you guys can probably relate to that. So I will leave a link to the ones that I have. Where are they? Oh, they're right here. I'm probably going to get some more, but they're really cute, very simple. They don't have a prescription, but like, they're really cute. I like these. And then my actual glasses have blue light in them. So when I got my glasses from my eye doctor, I just had them put a little bit of a blue light in there. So that also is another way you can do it. Just ask your eye doctor and say, hey, I would like to put like the blue light in it, and just a little bit, because it does sometimes have a reflection. So I just put a little as opposed to like the straight up blue light glasses. All right, so now let's talk about how to make money as an influencer, content creator, and YouTuber. There are so many different ways, but I'll just talk about the major, more common ways that influencers tend to make money on both platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, etc. Like anywhere you can pretty much promote or advertise. That's essentially what influencers, creators, and YouTubers are. We're advertisers and marketers for brands, businesses, our own businesses and companies and things of that nature. We're promoting a product to influence you to essentially purchase the product. We're also giving brands exposure to our audience. So it's two-part. It's not only are we saying, hey, we can show this product to our audience and they're going to buy it. That's one part of it. But also we're just exposing the brand or the product to our audience, and then they can do with that as they may. So don't get caught up in when brands say, well, it didn't say that you sold that many, or how many items can you actually sell. There are times when you want to say, hey, I have a bit link that shows that people click this link 500 times after I posted. But that's not the baseline to being an influencer, creator, or YouTuber. Essentially, I'm giving you the exposure to my audience. Especially if you have a bigger audience, then that's definitely an avenue you can go. There are several third-party platforms that I use, essentially. So they act as the middleman between the influencer, creator, talent, and the brand, company, business that is looking to promote their product or service. So the third party platform, you create your profile. Sometimes you have to apply, sometimes they reach out to you, and then the brand will post their different deliverables, opportunities, and campaigns onto the third party marketing platforms. So then us as the creator will see, oh wow, this is something I like, and go on there and you can apply or say I'm interested in it, or the brand will reach out to you and say, hey, I have this campaign going on, I think you'd be a great fit, because on your profile it'll connect to your social media platforms and it will say, you know, this is her engagement, this is her following, etc., etc., and you can customize it and put a bio and things like that. So I think that's a lot easier, especially when it's kind of like, I don't want to blind email people. I haven't had great success, I wouldn't say any success, but I haven't had great success with reaching out to a lot of brands, but I also haven't done that often. I think I maybe have reached out to maybe 3 or 5 brands, maybe, and then it just easier when they reach out to me. For one, when they reach out to me, I feel like I can usually get more because they're reaching out to me, so I can charge you know, a little bit more. Essentially, I do have a rate sheet, so I have a baseline of how much I charge for different deliverables, and it varies. But of course, if it's a smaller business or smaller company, I may not charge them the same amount, but I always attach my rate sheet so they know, hey, I'm giving you a discount, but this is the baseline. So maybe next time you need to come correct, you know, but I'll give people grace. And I also try to work with a lot of Black female-owned businesses at least a few times a month for free. It just varies and it depends on, of course, what they're promoting, if it goes with my brand, and if I have time to kind of do that. And then I'll still prioritize paid opportunities. I know that may sound bad, but like if a brand is paying a few $1,000s for me to post about something, like I need to prioritize that and make sure that I'm putting in the work. That doesn't mean that I don't end up promoting the free service or the gifting opportunities. I do end up doing it. It just may be a little bit longer. So that sometimes can be hard to balance, and it may look, you know, bad on the company that sent you the product for free, but just know like it will get promoted. I just have to prioritize the people that are paying you. It's just like if you're doing anything, if you're getting paid to do something, you should be prioritizing that paid opportunity. So there's that. If you want to know the third-party marketing platforms that I use, definitely sign up for my social media consultation. I will give you a list of the ones that I use, the ones I recommend, and how I use them and strategize to get money, okay? Also, I will say when you're negotiating, just kind of briefly, make sure you set your price much higher than you actually want, because essentially with negotiating, you are going to go down from a specific number, but you need to give yourself some space to be able to negotiate. So let's just use random numbers. Let's say my price is $100. It's not, so brands don't try me, but let's say my price for an Instagram post is $100. Then I tell the brand, okay, I want $200. That gives me $100 to negotiate. Now if they start at $50, that's a huge gap, and I'm trying to get them, you know, it depends. So you see what I'm saying. I'm speaking like general, but I'm trying not to like tell all my business. But I don't really mind talking about how much I charge. If you do the consultation, I usually tell you and show you my rate sheet. Just only reason I'm not going to say it in this video is because my rate changes. It depends on what the brand is looking for, and also including like usage rights and exclusivity and things like that, which I talk about in my influencer contracts video. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. So it varies, or if they are wanting some additional content or like an image where they can use it for their own promotional materials, whether it's digital or non-digital, it varies. So that's the only reason why I don't say it in the video, because I don't want brands to pretty much hold me to that. And they kind of could, I guess. Well, debatable, but that's why I'm not saying it. But if you do book a consultation, I always like be honest and tell them. Okay, so using platforms, reaching out to brands, that's one way of getting paid, through sponsorships, brand deals, campaigns, all of those kind of things where you are working with someone else to promote their product and service. The second way is, and this is in no certain order, but the second way is Google Adsense. So if you have a YouTube channel, you get paid a certain amount per every 1,000 view. Of course, you have to wait till you are able to get monetized, and I will leave that information down in the description box below because I cannot remember off the top of my head. I don't want to get it wrong, but there is a specific number of views that you have to reach in a certain amount of time that YouTube requires you now in order for you to get the monetization option. Then once you get that, as long as you post on YouTube, you will get monetized, essentially, as long as you're not doing anything that will get you demonetized, such as something that's inappropriate, foul language too much, etc., etc., etc. So you should be fine. Also, you can use mid-roll ads, which are the ads that you see in between throughout the video, if you have your video that is 8 minutes or more. It used to be 10 minutes or more, but now it's 8 minutes or more, so that's a little bonus. And then when it comes to how much you get paid every 1,000 views, it varies. It depends on the topic you're talking about, who's watching your videos, where they're watching the videos, the watch hours, the watch time, how long they're watching the video, and all these little metrics that YouTube calculates and gives you a number. So mine varies. It depends. Sometimes it's $7, sometimes it's been as high as like $14. So it just depends on the video, but I think it's a nice touch to creating content, which is why I always say YouTube is a great platform if you want to get into the social media influencer marketing space, because even if you're not getting sponsored by a video, you can still get a check, essentially, if you're posting consistent content, getting views and things of that nature, which is why views are so much more important than followers. Followers are more for the brand security, how I look at it, and it's a vanity metric, of course. It's nice to have a certain amount of followers, but the views is where you get this money, okay? Another way to make money is to sell merch. So I know you guys have seen influencers and YouTubers sell like a specific merch, or like I have my legal tea mugs, which I will be selling again shortly. Also with that is you can create courses. So this is kind of like, because you have a platform and have built an audience, you can create these other sources of income. So creating a course, a masterclass, consultation, something like that, where you have now kind of set yourself up as an expert or someone that is knowledgeable in a specific area, and you can create a course, masterclass, consultation around that topic because you have an audience. Another way you can make money is by doing professional videography or photography. If you're really, really good at that kind of thing, you can also like sell that to brands and companies, or be a freelancer on like Fiverr or Upwork, and people can see your work through your YouTube videos. So that's a way of doing it. Or like I edit my videos, I essentially could edit other people's videos and charge them. I could also take other people's photos, which I've done for my friend. I took her photos for her business and things like that. So there's other ways you can use the skill set, kind of like the list we created in part 1. Use your skills that you already have to then create multiple streams of income, just like we talked in the previous video. I'm telling you guys, all these videos are going to overlap and kind of add on to get you to that 8-figure business. Okay, we are all trying to make this money. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any other question, comments, concern, leave them in the comment section below. I hope this video was really helpful. I love talking about influencer marketing. It's just such a new space, but it's so interesting and I just love everything about it. So definitely leave me some comments down below, and maybe I'll do like a follow-up video, because I feel like I've been getting a ton of questions about this, especially since I left my job and they're like, wait, you could do this full time and make money and survive. But yeah, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed. Leave me some comments, like I said, subscribe, like, already said like, thumbs up, y'all, all the YouTuber things, you know. Okay, let me do the YouTube right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed. Leave me some comments, like I said. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a video. Share this video with your family and friends, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Later.